Hey girl, hey! Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jensine. Today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite everyday palettes. Now I just want to let you know, I think everyone's concept of what everyday actually is totally different. For me, it's shades that are in the warmer category because they complement my skin tones. I'm talking brown, I'm talking oranges, maybe some muted reds, anything that just has warm tones. Now I have quite a bit of palettes to talk about and share with you guys, and some of them are well known, some of them are not so well known. So maybe if you're looking for something just to complement your work makeup or your school makeup, something easy, then you might find some inspiration here. Please let me know if you want me to do a colorful palettes edition of this video. I'm more than happy because I do love color, and I have a lot of those palettes that I'd like to share with you guys. So without any further ado, I just want to remind you guys, if you're not subscribed, join the family and let's get into these palettes. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is, I feel like it's a favorite, but not a lot of people talk about it currently, and that's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. And I feel like you can really find everything. It's so versatile, right? Because you have the colors that complement the skin, or my type of skin, naturally, right? And then you also have a few little colors in there to add some spice to your makeup. Maybe if you want to go from day to night makeup, like the black, mulberry, these two shimmers here, but everything else is just very soft, very feminine, nothing too snazzy, but there's a little bit of options just in case, you know what I mean? And this palette, I want to say it retails between $40 and $50. I forget the actual price that I paid for it because I have had it for a while, but the formula is great. I love the blends, and also it's gonna last you a bit. You can actually use it every day and it's gonna last you a while. So I want to head into the affordable category. So these next palettes are from CoverGirl, and you might have heard me talk about them. Honestly, I've never really thought too much of CoverGirl's eyeshadow palette formula, just because I was no one ever talks about it, and I was probably look, it's probably not that pigmented, For example, this one right here, it's called Reverence. It's kind of like a mini dupe of the Soft Glam palette. Of course, it doesn't have all the shades, right? But this, it's pigmented, the shimmers are pigmented, the mattes blend really well. You don't have to build up color for a long time. It's perfect for just look, I gotta do my eye makeup really quick, I gotta go soon, you know what I mean? And then you also have this one right here, and this one's called Posh, and yeah, there we go, you can see it better. I feel like this is kind of a mini dupe of the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette with maybe a few newer colors in there, but it's a very similar tone, and these tones all look really, really beautiful on women of color, deeper skin tones, tan skin tones. I mean, they're bomb. And the best part is they're affordable. So, if you're a diva on a budget, that's something that you can definitely check out to complement your makeup. So another one that's also affordable, and I personally feel like it's an underrated palette, is the ColourPop Brown Sugar palette. So I did a review on this at the end of last year, and the whole collection, and I feel like it just came out at a time when so many different palettes were on the market, coming out, launching, and it just got lost in the shuffle, So here are the tones, and I just feel like they're beautiful. They're subtly beautiful, and I feel like Karrueche she did that. She slayed this and then some. Now I love these two are such great transition colors. These are really great, actually this whole row here, for deepening the outer crease. You also get some beautiful shimmers here. So I feel you can just go so many routes. There's so many different color combinations, and they might not immediately catch the eye or have things or colors that are super bright and pop out at you, but I promise on the eyes, it looks sickeningly beautiful. So this one right here is kind of like a redefined version of Everyday, and this is the new nudes palette from Huda Beauty. And I love this because it's kind of like soft feminine glam, but then, you know, if you really want to spice it up for later at night, you've got these glitter shades and shimmer shades. Honestly, this would be so good for the person that really likes like pinks and mauves. You know, there are a couple brown shades in here, but not too many. Now, I know that not a lot of people would think this is an everyday palette because when you take a look at the shimmers, but I mean, for me, I'm not afraid to wear a shimmer every day. I love it. I'd be like, give it to me. I'm here for it. Let's make my lids look phenomenal. But I just want to say that this is an excellent, excellent palette. It also has a eye primer in here, or a concealer. I mean, it's not my favorite because I do have hooded lids and I'm in a committed relationship with my other primers. But for some of you guys that want to check it out, or maybe you just don't want to bring that extra product, it is in there. And yeah, I mean, it's just gorgeous. Moving right along, now this is a palette that I actually created, not like in the sense of a collaboration, but it's a bunch of single shadows that I created, and it's a little quad right here. So these are Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows, and they might not look like too much when you just look at them in the pan. So this one right here is a single shadow caramel. This is sienna. This one right here is an orange shimmer called Wine, and this one is dark chocolate shimmer. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not every day, but here is why I categorize this, because you can either use mattes, do an all matte look, or add a little bit of this shimmer during the day. But maybe, you know, going into night, or you want to go to happy hour later or date night later, pop this in your outer crease, just kind of like dab it in there with a brush, and all of a sudden it's a pop-in, you know, night glam look. I feel like Anastasia's single shadows are underrated because they were like super popular when they first came out and now not so much. But I'm just gonna say this, like, you can really combine and make like a quad that's like so suitable. So these are like my jam, my colors, and every time I wear them I always get complimented. Okay, so a brand that I really love that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough is the Balm, and I feel like that's because it's not sold in Ulta or Sephora, at least to my recollection. You can find this brand in Kohl's, I'm pretty sure about that. So I have two palettes right here, and I'm gonna talk to you about them. The first one is called Nude Dude, and it's got a really nice selection of it's got a really nice selection of kind of like day to night colors. So kind of like day colors here and then night colors here. So you can really do a lot with these, and I feel like it's one of those palettes where it doesn't look like too much in the pan, but then you put them on your eyes and you're like, wow, like this is really lovely. So I really enjoyed this one. And then we also have Nude Tude. So this one has been around for quite a while, and it's the same kind of concept, day to night. Both palettes I feel like are so stunning and really great for like work or school. I'm not sure what the price is at Kohl's. I'll probably like put it up here for you guys if you're interested, but I feel like the Balm has really, really, really great eyeshadow formulas. But if you're looking for different brands to get into, I highly suggest those two palettes. They're just really easy to work with, quick, good for every day. All right, so let's take it back to the affordable section for a little bit. One of my favorite affordable brands is called Profusion Cosmetics. This is their Mixed Metals Peach Palette. I feel like I talked to you guys a lot about them. It is available at Target. So for me, these are everyday colors. Like, I live for these colors. I can never get enough warm tones. I don't care how many palettes come out. I'm always like, I want it. But yeah, so I mean, look at these. They're just, So you got a bunch of mattes and I believe two shimmers. These are kind of like matte colors with, you know, some reflex in them, but they're not shimmers. And oh my goodness, on the eyes, they just look beautiful. I don't know how Profusion Cosmetics does this, but their formulas are so easy to blend. They're pigmented, but like not so pigmented where you're trying to just like go in and diffuse a transition color and it's too much. Because, you know, sometimes you can have too much pigmentation. It's not always a good thing, but you can build it up. So you can go soft and muted, or you can really build it up and get that nice color, but it's so beautiful. I love it. Okay, moving right along, we have a newer palette to the everyday category. This is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded, and I've talked to you guys quite a bit about this. It made it into my favorites for the month. Very harsh in the review, you know. Some things I personally like. I love my shimmers to be very pigmented, and these, you have to learn how to work with them. They work best with a finger or a wet finger or something, but not so much with a brush. But I think that the colors, like once you learn how to work with them, they translate beautifully. Now I will say this, you know, not everybody is a big fan of learning how to work with a palette, and I totally get that, and you have every right to have that opinion. But for me, I really like these. I also suggest using an eye primer and not setting it with a lot of setting powder, and using one that's not so drying. So like the Primer Potion from Urban Decay can be a little bit drying. I know, because my eyes are very finicky, but using maybe either a concealer or something that has a creamy base is gonna work best with this one. So the next one is another warm tones palette. Surprise, surprise. This one is from Huda Beauty. It's the Warm Obsessions palette. So one of the reasons why I love this is just, look, like to me this is like everyday. I mean, you might not always use this one, or maybe in your outer corner crease kind of thing, but I love these. You can do one color, you can do two, you could be adventurous and do three, and there's only one shimmer in this, but this shimmer you can definitely create a really nice classic bronzy, like golden bronzy look. The formula of this is great. They blend really well. The pigment is there. There's not a lot of fallout, so I really do enjoy this one quite a bit. The next one is for my girls and guys that like a little bit of your luxury makeup. This is from Natasha Denona. It's her little like 5-pan minis that she does on her bigger palettes, and I believe this is a mini for the Sunset palette. I just like this because look, it's like simple. You get the gist or the bulk of like the major colors from the Sunset palette without the super hefty price tag, and you can do you know, bronzy colors, you can do pink colors, you can stick with the mattes, you can do multiple. There's just like, if you use your imagination, you can just do so much with this. And it's just travel friendly, and it's just there for when you're on the go and you just want to like put it on real quick and head out the door, and they still look lovely. Now, I would love to hear from you what your favorite everyday palettes are, and I hope that you enjoyed my little selection of my current everyday favorites. Definitely check out some of the videos next to me, and don't forget to vote and tell me if you want to see the colorful edition of this video. As always, I love you guys. Thank you for chilling with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!